Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1 and today we're going to be going over a couple of things on my free-to-play account. I got a little bit of maintenance that I need to take care of, particularly in my districts, and then it's time to get down and dirty with making the perfect teams that I want to make. Wanted to get the districts done first, so that's what I've done. But I wanted to start out with a little bit of a tip here while we're fighting our challenge. I got this tip from somebody on the YouTube comments. So as I always tell people, feel free to share your tips in the comments below because I can learn things just as well as anybody else, and this is a simple tip that I just simply didn't think of, and that is to put your rosters, if you don't use them for anything, just set them up so you can do your expeditions faster. And that inspired me to actually set up some minor teams. They're not great, but they are going to be my district champions, and they're also going to be somewhat leveled up so that I can get a little bit farther every day. And all I got to do is click in the roster, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to set up. I have already set that up for the day before I started making the video, as you can see by me killing this thing. So thank you to this person for that tip. It's a pretty solid one. If you don't know how to do that, then when you get on your champion list here, you can click in the bottom right and click on your rosters. And you'll see that I have a few of them set up here. And mostly I have district champions involved in that, but I still have some more stuff to do to set up my district champions. Now, the reason that this is generally better isn't because these are good teams. They're actually not that good of teams. The reason it's better is because you're gonna have them leveled up anyway, and it's just one way that you can benefit from all of the materials that you're putting into these district champs anyway. As you can see in my districts, I got a little bit of stuff that doesn't belong where it is. Already I could just switch this, and I would be doing a little bit better. What we would really love to do is kick this guy over into legendary status, and I could get some stuff started right away. I'm gonna wait to do his until he's mythic. I don't know, it just seems like it's better, more efficient. But still, you can see how close we are, and he's our last district champion that we need to get taken care of before we can start moving on to collecting clan traits, which is what I will be doing before I go to level 22 traits. There are just some that I want to have to play with. I believe that next I'm gonna be going for focused. I've never actually run a full team with the focused and agile build. I don't particularly see it as being the best all the time. That's why I haven't done that, but I figured I'd try it out on this account just for the memes, just for the people who say that that is the way to play. I suppose I better give them their due and give it a try at least. For me, I need some certain things to line up generally to use one of those builds, and the main thing that I'm looking for is that my ultimate does more than one thing. Usually that's what I'm looking for. Sometimes I recommend it, for instance, on this terrible champion that nobody should use, because the only thing that he really does well is his ultimate, and of course his ultimate is one of the worst abilities in the game, so why would you ever use him? But still, if you're taking him to banish people, and that's when I would generally recommend that. A lot of people do it, let's say on a male Aeson, just to get the most ultimates that they can get. I don't think that's the best way to go. I think you get more out of the champion if you go into building all of his abilities at the same time, instead of just building for the one. So I've done a little bit of ascension here to get my districts up in order, and one of the things that I got is some female luxuriants to go into this district. As you can see, the numbers are huge on these champions, even though their star levels are not all that huge. She's at 4263 as a 5-star, and if we go over into our other entertainment district, we've got ourselves an 8-star here. That is half of that. Now, she's only purple, I will give that to you, but it does make a huge difference, and that's why I need to make some more female luxuriants. I got plenty of energy potions. I think I'm just gonna do it right away. And we do have some solid warriors chilling in here in our district. However, they need to be starred up a little bit. You know, 4 stars just not gonna cut it for us at this stage. We're trying to really pump some cash, you know? And lastly, we've got our tavern district where, yet again, we have some pretty decent champions here. In fact, the champion I'm investing in more than any other one is giving us still less than the luxuriant that was a 5-star. That's why the luxuriants are so important, people. And this one is mythic, is fully leveled, still way less than our 5-star luxuriant. So we may need to find a noble or a confident to throw on these people, but we definitely need to find some ascension levels in there, and that's gonna be the real trick of the day. All right, now I'm upset. I just did 9 of these and only 2 of them were the females I was looking for. What, did I make somebody mad up in here? Give me a break. So far, so good, governor. We've got ourselves our market district, which I have hired as many workers as possible in here. And we got a little extra ascension going on, you know, over 5K from this one person alone. We did a little bit of marrying to make sure we had noble and confident, at least on this one. We still got a little work to do on that and as far as the traits go, but my stocks are pretty low on the marriage materials right now, and I think that's fine. We'll work towards it in due time. Similarly, we got another star level on both of our male Fulgurs in this district, and of course we got lucky in that we are already using a couple of people that are close enough to the amount that we're getting from our Fulgur that we can hold off just a little bit on spending the resources on that one, especially since this male Elzadeth I am planning to ascend as much as possible. When I have the actual materials to do so, I think he's a lot better right now than he was before now that crit is fixed, and I'm also using a female Fulgur, which is one of his best companion champions to use as she increases crit chance. So I'm not worried about replacing his space, and you know, the dwarf is fine for now. The little dwarfy boy, what are you gonna do? In our agricultural districts, we're sitting real pretty with a lot of these guys having their noble and confident. Not all of them are max level, but I think that we're okay with that for now. We are very much hurting for warrior ascension materials, but as it stands, all of these districts are doing very well. Our production districts, not so great. In fact, they're pretty abysmal, pretty terrible. Since I have the mythics on the way for the Doombringers, I'm not going to invest anything into sorting this out right now because I know it's coming, you know? A little bit of patience goes a long way. And 2 of the people that we're using on our main team right now are already in there in our second industrial district, so it's good enough. Now, a lot of people would say that I should be doing this during one of these district challenges, but I need to fix my districts. I was way too busy to do it when the challenge was here. I may as well do it now so that I can reap the benefits of doing the thing. Since I raised so many heirs, I'm doing real well on this challenge. Already got it all the way completed since we were leveling up a few extra luxuriants to put in our spaces. So I am taking advantage of these challenges to some degree. I'm in 8th place on my own server. I may even try to push it a little bit if I'm still doing well tomorrow. We'll see. I'm going to check the gaps. Whenever you're deciding if you're going to push, you should look at your rank, look how many points you have, and look for the gaps. Then you need to compare that to the actual rewards. Now, if I could get in 4th or 5th place, then I'm doing a little bit better, getting a little bit more than I would have down here. But I need to decide if that's actually worth it to me or if it's not worth it to me. It could potentially be, but I don't think it's going to be something that I do. In fact, I think pushing into top 10 on a lot of these challenges, you end up spending more resources than you're gaining. So you need to make sure you're accomplishing something at the same time. With this air challenge, I already needed to make the airs anyway, so I didn't lose anything. I just gained extra by doing it. But if you start investing past that point, you might be messing yourself over a little bit, unless you're really gunning for that first place, and that could be good. Now, that's not all we can do to improve our districts. In fact, we've got a whole mess of vigor potions that I'm gonna start using here, and I've got a little charm that I can put out into the world, and I wanted to let you guys know that the actual best way that you can initially start spending your charm is specifically on the Doombringer up to 1,000 points, and then on the Luxuriant up to 1,000 points. Now, I do have a handy chart on my website, RagePanda1.com. If you're looking for more information on that, you can go in there into the charts section, which is starting to be built out a little bit now that all the champions are done. I can't tell you that it's the prettiest part of the website just yet, but it's going to be. I thought it would be better, more prudent, as they say, to get the information available to the good people of the world, and then I can make it pretty, and we can all enjoy that together. So the charm guide on the website will tell you the ratio of the benefit of your charm items compared to how much they're going to actually earn you. That chart was created by somebody in the community, as most of these charts have been. So it's all us working together, building a wonderful community together, and I do love to see that. I know that they're planning at some point in March to have carousing available to be completed all at once. I'm going to click through all of these just for you. I have just used all of those vigor potions, and I think that we can all understand that I deserve a like for that amount of effort on the video. So please, please, dear God, give me a like for that. JK, if you don't like it, then don't like it. But if you do, you know, I appreciate you and you're cool and stuff. Okay, so when we're doing our little companionship, I've said this tip before, but I'll say it again. We want to make sure that we're doing it evenly across all of our little boxes, all these little treeways. Now, what you want to do is you want to have your base value in the middle. Let's just take that up to, call it 50K. We want our bottom one to be half of that value. We want our top one to be twice that value. And we want to maintain that ratio as we level it up. And we want the Guardians of Light to be roughly equal to Exotic Charm, which would be roughly equal to all of the rest of them. And you might be asking yourself, well, what do I do if I only got one of the guys? Well, that's pretty simple. You just level it up to whatever this bottom row is on all of the rest of them. And then you'll know that you're getting basically the most you can get out of your charisma for these bonuses. It's possible you might want to just try to pump up one specific one, but I don't see any benefit in doing that, so I always go for it evenly. And I'm going to have a lot of leveling to do here, so I will just get back to you on that one. All right. We have absolutely gone to town on these districts today, getting champions in order and traits in order and carousing in order and all of this sort of stuff. We got charm going off, everything. And with all of that work that we put in today, it's not as good as it possibly could be right now. We're basically out of resources to make it work even better. But when I actually started today, I was at like 94 or 95k, and now we're at 130k. That is a huge increase. That is a massive increase. And all that really was different, the main difference here, number one, the vigor potions helped a lot. Can't lie. That was like 5k on its own. But also, getting all of these luxuriants across the board really made a big difference. It was super important to our progress. And once we get all of their traits with noble and confident and all that good stuff, we'll be doing even better. This guy happens to have a big confident on him. That's the only reason that he's doing better than our female luxuriant, and she doesn't have either of the traits. So you can see I tried to get some of them. I just didn't get lucky today, and sometimes you don't. But by doing this, we're going to be absolutely huge, and we are poised to make huge strides in our account. Now, if you go to RagePanda1.com and you look at the champion builds, you're going to see a lot of them require aggressive or suggest aggressive. If that champion is a DPS only character, then you can switch that out for Lionheart, which you're going to have available because you're getting your Doombringer up. Now, I think aggressive is a better trait, but Lionheart is really close, and so I think that you can get away with getting it through this method. And then if you got somebody like a male ASN or somebody who's doing shield, maybe you want to have aggressive for that and you get it down the road. Like I said, for me, I'm going to be going for focused. So that puts my free-to-play account in a really good place right now. We're using basically all of the resources we had available for how long we've been playing this account, less than 2 months. We got a pretty big team going on, even though I can't play every second of every day. And I think that we're doing really well. Our gear is coming out great, and we got big plans for the future. And one of those big plans is probably going to be Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central, when we will be streaming an account review. And then after the account review, maybe if it's a fast one, we'll do a second one. If not, we're going to crash through this dungeon descent and get ourselves some more of our chests and rewards and have a really good time. So I will be looking forward to seeing you on the stream if that's a way that you want to spend your time. But for now, I want to thank you for watching the video. I have been RagePanda1, and I will see you in the next one.